Hey guys, welcome to Bonehead Truckers, and man, I gotta give a huge shout out. We're going to do a reaction to this video and play it in full. I'm going to give a huge shout out to Tanya Iser of WFAA. What a great job she's doing reporting on this, better than anyone out there. Okay. And I was surprised by some of the information in this video. I was actually shocked. And so I want to cover this, and I want to do a full reaction to this. But before I do, let me give another shout out to Dale Prax from Freight Validate for reaching out on LinkedIn. He was in one of the previous WFAA videos, but let's well, there you go, right there. Let's watch this video, and I'll give my thoughts on it.
5 lives were lost, 4 from the same family on this stretch of interstate in Terrell. Police say the driver told them he fell asleep, and sources familiar with the investigation say the truck's registration, known as a cab card, was fake, and arrest warrants have been issued.
So there's bombshell number 1 right there. Let me tell you guys something. These people that own Hope Trans is not even in the United States. I don't believe that they're located. They are gone. The people who own, if you got an arrest warrant for out there for them, guess what? Go look in Russia, Serbia. Go look over there. And by the way, can I just say, they do not want this information out here. Because, and I imagine WFAA and probably they have received some threats. I have received probably the most threats on this right here than any other company, any other accident that I have covered. This right here, the owners of this, and I believe it's coming from the owners, are, hey, they don't want information out here. I'll explain those details probably here later, not in this video, but later on down the road. But let's continue.
We've also now confirmed that the truck was hauling a United States Postal Service load. And there are serious questions about whether that driver and Hope Trans, the company he was driving for, should have been hauling it at all.
The whole family died needlessly.
John Nohenick represents one of the family members.
There are so many issues with the company, their safety record. It's a matter of time before this happens.
We've learned Tennessee-based Covenant Logistics hired Hope Trans to haul that load. The truck began its journey at a postal distribution center outside Atlanta. Its next stop, Irving. The final destination is unclear. That route from Atlanta to Irving spans 800 miles, a 12-hour haul. But Postal Service rules are clear. Team drivers are required for trips over 500 miles. In this case, the driver was alone.
There was just so many red flags.
We spoke with a former Hope Trans driver who says he drove a Postal Service load from Atlanta to Phoenix alone, just weeks earlier in early June.
I next day shipped it from Atlanta all the way to Phoenix off of 3 hours of sleep.
The driver asked us to conceal his identity, but says he warned Covenant about Hope Trans a week before the crash.
He just kind of brushed it off. He didn't say anything about when I told him that I was the only one running that load.
I mean, that
Postal records available online show contracts with Covenant in excess of $40 million. In a statement, Covenant told WFA it was deeply saddened to learn of the tragic accident involving Hope Trans. We are cooperating with all law enforcement and other government agencies investigating this incident. The Postal Service responded saying, "The Postal Service is aware of this accident, which is the subject of an ongoing investigation." The driver who made that Atlanta to Phoenix Postal Service run previously provided WFA the shipping records known as the Bill of Lading. It showed the departure date backdated from June 9th to June 8th.
A majority of their freight, that's how it goes. They change the pickup times. They push the pickup times back if you need more time.
A second former Hope Trans driver reached out after seeing our July 2nd report.
They don't care about rules. They just care about dropping off the load and making that money.
He provided us his employment agreement and shipping records for a load of pickles. A 2,200-mile trip from North Carolina to Utah. The original departure date, June 16th. The new one, backdated to June 15th.
All of a sudden you got 11 fresh hours.
And he says there was a code for asking for more drive time.
All I had to say was, I need a cup of coffee. and they would give me more time.
So you recognize that screen, right? Didn't that look familiar with some of my previous videos? That's Telegram. And let me tell you guys, any company that wants to, when they go and say, hey, download Telegram, that way we could operate our business, run.
Both truckers also provided us the same message instructing drivers to hide any original paperwork and noting that showing the original documents can lead to a major violation.
Again, we've seen that in another video. We've seen that, and this is how they word things in their Telegram. This is how they word things in their lease agreements and their terms of their company policy. This is what they do, okay? And they'll talk in code, and they're really talking in code now in all these companies because, excuse my French, people, because you have people like FAA and Bonehead Truckers on their ass.
It really gets my blood boiling for this family, because if they were doing that, if Hope was doing that, they for sure didn't belong on the road.
If you were a major carrier, would you hire this company to transport loads?
Absolutely not.
Steve Bryan is CEO of Blue Wire. Blue Wire is like a credit report, but for trucking companies. It analyzes federal crash and inspection data, scoring more than 700,000 carriers nationwide. Hope Trans' Blue Wire score, 50.25, what Blue Wire calls a severe risk.
They also have multiple failures in a category we call safety culture.
According to inspection data collected by Blue Wire, the Postal Service was one of Hope Trans's top customers, whether they knew it or not. A 2024 audit from the U.S. Postal Service's Inspector General found this: the Postal Service did not always know who was authorized to transport mail on its behalf.
Well, that's because Covenant has that contract with the Postal Service, and when the loads that Covenant can't haul, they can't cover, they put it out there on the spot market. And that's where companies like Hope Trans comes in and does these loads.
At the time of the terrible crash, Hope Trans listed a Tacoma address, but it was just a co-working space. Staff said they only got mail there, and that's a problem because FMCSA rules require trucking companies to list a real physical address. And within 2 days after the crash, Hope Trans changed its address in federal records to an Orlando apartment. Our sister station in Tampa went to that Orlando apartment. Wedged in the door, a business card from a federal investigator.
Have you ever seen the name Hope Trans, LLC at all?
No. Oh, that's a name you can remember, no.
No, not that kind of trans. Okay. Well, I know what you were thinking, because we all think it.
Companies like this, they just do not care about the law.
Both truckers we spoke to say they only worked for Hope Trans for a few weeks. The company still has not responded to requests for comment.
If I kept driving for this company, this is how I was going to end up, just like that driver did.
So back there at the apartment where no one was found, no one was there, okay? I guarantee you, my opinion, the people who run this company, own this company, ain't even in the United States of America. Okay? I do believe, and they always have been, in another country. How do they get their hands on trucks? How do they do this? How do they make so much money when you have American companies who do things, American trucking companies that work hard to do things the right way, the legit way, the legal way, okay, that are ran here in the United States of America, have a hard time, okay, because we can't compete with that. It's hard to compete with that.
For now, Hope Trans is still authorized to haul freight on the nation's interstates.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. They shouldn't be hauling. They shouldn't be out there, okay? There's more information out there about this company and the history of this company that I'm sure Miss Tanya knows about, that she's sitting on. Because, and we've stated it in other videos on this channel, where, hey, how this channel's being attacked, right, is because we know the truth. We see the pattern that there's going on, and there is a rabbit hole that is endless on this company alone. On this company. No telling how many more are out here just like it. This company, this has been going on for a number of years. And listen, I'm going to release a video on tomorrow morning, talking about one of the biggest companies that kind of just, that has been known to do this. And they kind of set the standard, and all these companies are following suit.
In Dallas, I'm Tanya Iser.
And listen, shout out to these families that lost their loved ones in this. I know the young lady that lost her life, her father reached out to me via email, and my condolences. Listen, we're trying hard. These guys are fighting back, but this is getting deeper and deeper and deeper on this company alone. And thanks to Tanya, thanks to all the people on X that was exposing this, like Danielle on X, and Sarah Fields on X for exposing this. I'm just a truck driver making videos, okay? These drivers are in a desperate situation, okay? They find drivers that are desperate for a job, and they will do anything for a paycheck. I don't put this on the drivers, other than the fact that drivers, if you're out of hours, pull it over, take a 10-hour break. You don't need a cup of coffee, okay? I mean, not that kind of cup of coffee. You don't need fresh hours. You don't need them to manipulate your logs. You need to learn how to say no, because I guarantee you, when or if this ever happens to you where you're running over your hours, okay, you have an illegal cab card, okay, you have illegal hours, okay, you're running over your hours, and then this happens, you fall asleep and you run over a bunch of people and you kill them. Dude, this company does not care about you, okay? You're going to jail for a long time. The owners of this company are long gone. I'm telling you, they ain't in Washington, they ain't in Ohio, they ain't in Orlando, they ain't in Illinois. They are not in the United States of America. That is my prediction. Bonehead Truckers, we gone.
So with all the bad companies out there, where's all the good companies at? Well, right here, TRC Freight. I've been telling you guys about TRC Freight for how many years now? What makes us better is that we're transparent. Okay, you negotiate your load, you get the rate con. Sometimes we book a load for you. Guess what you get? The rate con. If you book a load for $1,000, you get 88% of that $1,000. We don't mess with the logs here. If you have hours, you have hours. If you don't have hours, you don't have hours. We're not going to go and sit there and says, hey, Mr. Joe Bob truck driver, we're going to change your hours. We're going to need you to run 20 hours on this load. We don't do that here. We are an American company ran right here in the United States of America. We have United States citizens. When you call us, you're calling us United States citizen. Okay, that's big today. I'm just sitting there saying, okay, and the owner of TRC Freight is a Marine. You just don't mess with Marines, okay? There's some patriotic son of guns. I'm just sitting there telling you. Listen, if you want to find out more about us, give us a holler. TRC Freight, trcandme.com is our website. 88% full transparency. We don't hide anything from you. You come over here, you know what you're getting. And I'm telling you right now, we're Americans over here. That means something. trcandme.com.